Karel, could you give a quick introduction of yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Karel, also from the Netherlands. Been in IT for about 20 years. Came to Malaysia 4 years ago, and yeah, we've been working with this new product we've been building with creating winners. Really excited about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Karel. I would like to add to Karel's story that he isn't gray because he has been in tech for 20 years. It's been from your studies, right?
That's true.
That's true. Sorry, that's very nice. And then let me introduce you to Ali Hosseini. Ali?
Yeah, my name is Ali, and I'm from Afghanistan, and I'm a web developer at Creating Winners. And as some of you may also know, I'm an alumni of Ideas Academy.
Yes. Ali went to the first class of Ideas Academy, right? And you were the first group to graduate at Ideas.
Yes.
Okay, so I've prepared a series of questions. Maybe they've been shared with you. Basically, we're talking about tech because we are a tech company. And the first question goes to Karel. It's a very obvious one, but basically, is there still a future in tech? What's going on with tech? Where's it going?
Well, so basically you see tech everywhere around you. When you talk with a chat from a support desk, probably you're talking to some artificial intelligence chatbot. But yeah, it's everywhere. So I'm 100% sure that jobs will be, how do you say that? Well, they will keep asking for people to work in tech as a developer or maybe as a manager that leads a tech team, but there will be a lot of job opportunities. So I think there's a lot of future in tech. Yeah.
And Ali, I mean, when I grew up, my father brought back the first VHS player, which is like, from the Betamax time, and my whole family went nuts because we could now watch movies at home. But for you and for you guys out there, the changes are so rapid and are so normal. You guys are so used to having tech in your life. Do you think tech is still going to impact your life? Is it still going to change the future, or is this just normal what we're seeing?
Yeah, of course it's gonna change the future. I mean, I can give an example about the energy production. Right now, most of the energy being produced is using fossil fuels, but that is changing, and we're moving more towards renewable energy, which is better for the planet and reducing our carbon footprint. Yeah. So
And so you think tech is going to play a big role in that?
yeah, tech is playing the main role in that. Hello.
It's working. How? Can you explain a little bit? Because how is tech impacting renewable energy? What does that mean?
Yeah, so the new, so like the solar panels and the wind turbines are gonna help generate the energy, and like now with the artificial intelligence, all that are gonna be automated. So yeah, that reduces the man work, yeah, the manpower, and yeah, all of that are gonna be done using tech and technology.
So that would be like a bit of a combination of engineering and tech, right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah. And do you think tech is for everyone? Because we're all so super different.
I guess, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think tech is for everyone, but like if you like solving a lot of problems, when you encounter bugs, trying to, yeah, like finding ways to solve that, and yeah.
So, Carol, what are, in your view, like the biggest challenges and opportunities that there are out there in tech now?
Well, as like a business owner, creating winners, big challenge is finding people. There's so much demand for tech people. So that's a big issue. And the other thing, but that's personal, So everything you do now, like Google, Facebook, whatever, it's all free, right? But in exchange for that, you give your privacy to them. They collect everything. And that's kind of a thing. All your private data is collected by these companies and they use it to earn money. So I think challenge in the future is, for example, to get more privacy. I don't know how you say that. Like software and apps that respect privacy, which now is actually not happening so much. That's a big challenge and opportunity,
Can I ask you, I mean,
in my opinion, right?
yeah, I understand. So why do I care that this company has my data?
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like a deep question, but I mean, you guys come from places where you had to flee, right? So in Europe, you had, for example, the Second World War, where the Germans took over these countries, and the Netherlands, for example, was really good in collecting data from citizens, and they were against Jews. So when they came in, they just had to open the archives, and they would know where every Jew was living, and they could just arrest them and put them into these camps. I'm not saying that these companies do the same, but they have all the data, and maybe they're doing good stuff with it, but maybe in the future you get some owner of the data that has bad intentions, and then, yeah, you cannot do anything against it anymore because they already have your data. So that's one of the, oh yeah, it's a bit heavy, but
It's a very deep
Yeah.
one, yeah.
sorry.
I'll go to a lighter topic. So Ali, tell me about a recent project you worked on, and what kind of role do you play in that? So people can start to visualize, like, what does it mean to be a developer in a company?
Okay, so yeah, at Creating Winners, recent project is we're developing a gamified e-learning app called the Replay, and I'm in charge of the web application side of it. And yeah, so I'm working on two apps. One app is where customers can go to the portal and create learning journeys. Yeah, fun learning journeys. And then the other app that I'm working on is Replay, where the players can go and use the learning journeys and in a gamified way learn the content that's built for them.
Yeah, so that's the same app, right? But
Yeah, it's the
one is
same
for the
app.
customer to create it, and one is for the player to enjoy it
Yes,
or to go
correct.
through it. Yeah. And what do you do in that role?
I'm in charge of the web app.
The web app.
Yeah, developing the customer portal and the web player.
Okay. Karel, how about you? Can you tell us a bit about a project that had a impact on you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a story. It's a long time ago, but it's basically how I got into IT. It was something like 20 years ago. I was studying econometrics. It was summer holiday. And I got this company that approached me. They had 3 offices at 3 different airports in the Netherlands. And back then you didn't have smartphones, right? And internet was just email. That's basically it, to email and websites. So every month there was a person that would drive to each location, extract the data from each database in an Excel sheet, drive home, put everything together, and then there was a big meeting every month where he would present all the data together. So they had, once a month, they had a total overview of the company itself. So we wrote this software. It was on the servers. They were connected to the internet. It would every hour upload the data to a web server. That web server would combine all the data and make it available via a website. So suddenly they were able to see the total picture of the company on an hourly basis instead of a monthly basis. And that's basically how I rolled into IT. I started a company, and now I'm here 20 years further up the road. But that's kind of my...
In another country,
Yeah, in another country. Yeah.
coding for Asian companies.
Yeah. But that was somehow I'm proud of that project. Yeah.
So now that you're talking, can you give me a bit of an idea what your day looks like?
Yeah.
I mean, what does it? That was a project from years ago, but now, how does your day look?
Yeah. So, well, in our company, we plan per 3 weeks. So at the beginning of 3 weeks, we decide what are we going to do the coming 3 weeks. It takes about a day to discuss that, plan it, and then next days of those 3 weeks, we work on that. And then every morning, all the team members, they come together, they tell what they did the day before, what they plan on doing the day itself, and if they ran into problems. And these are short meetings, like 15 minutes, and then everybody starts working, and then, you run into problems, or during the morning meeting, somebody said, hey, I need help on that, so you plan other meetings, you have sessions, you work it out, try to find solutions. Yeah, that's basically general day of work. Yeah, a lot of programming too. Yeah.
Yeah, Ali. How does education prepare you for a job in tech?
Yeah, so about education, I can give two most important points that have really eased like the job for me. One being like the groups you guys have now, like working in the group is really helpful, where you get to learn, you learn to work with people with different backgrounds, work together to achieve a main goal and a similar goal. So that's really helpful in the working world, where you work in groups a lot. And another one would be problem solving. Yeah, so in coding, there's a lot of problem solving, and yeah, that I guess part of it I learned from my schools and the problems I did in maths. Yeah, you won't really understand it when you're learning it right now, but it really helps you later in life. Yeah, so where you get a problem, you get a bug, as we call it in coding, and you try to break it down in smaller chunks, and which makes it easier to solve it. Yeah, so that was really helpful for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think Karel says it a lot that math is often really underestimated, right, by people that you can't relate it to daily life often, but actually you use it all the time. And now that I'm in a coding company, I really see it every day, of course, but I already see it in all my businesses that I did that are not tech related. Maths is the key. Logical thinking, problem solving, breaking down, it comes back all the time. Karel, last question. What do you do to stay up to date in tech? Because tech changes so quickly.
Yeah. So I basically focus on the stuff I need to keep myself updated. There's so much, to be honest. You can't keep up to date with everything. So I talk with other programmers that do the same type of work as I do. And they sometimes say, hey, Karel, did you notice this new programming language? It's getting popular real quick. And then I'll just try learn it a bit. So yeah, it's basically, you have to keep educating yourself. But you have to choose a bit what to educate yourself with, because there's so much happening. It's too much to basically learn it all. So you, yeah, keep yourself up to date. But I guess that's in most professions. You have to keep learning.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I guess I also asked that question because I see in our own company that someone who started as an Android developer, right, might at some point be told, all right, we're not using Android anymore. You're going to Flutter. And that person has to just master new code in 2 months' time. It's like, go for it. And of course, you don't see with lawyers or doctors like, all right, shift. It's
Yeah,
starting
but
from
they
scratch.
also keep updating themselves.
They also keep
Yeah.
updating themselves, yeah. Okay, and Ali, last one to you. If you were sitting there, how do you get here? What are the steps?
Yes, to
You could split it in like what are the ideal steps and what were the steps that you took?
yeah, sure. So I guess there are two main ways to getting here, pursuing a career in coding. So the ideal way would be to studying the field in a university or a college and getting a degree and then applying for a job. That would be the ideal way. But the other way,
Which degrees, by the way, would that be?
that would be computer science. Yeah, I guess any area of computer science or IT. Yes, so the other way which I took, and it is then the faster way, which is joining a coding bootcamp. Yeah, joining a coding bootcamp, learning the fundamentals of web development, coding, and then yeah, applying for a traineeship afterwards, and yeah, just working your way up.
Yeah, and I mean, our company is like a medium-sized company. So I think a lot of these small and medium-sized company are very open-minded and flexible to work with ambitious people. They don't mind, especially in tech, where you're from, what you do, as long as you deliver. You know, are you hardworking? Can you learn it? Because I also remember when Ali came in. Yes, you did the boot camp, but there was a lot to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
And for a year, he worked daily to upgrade himself and got the job. I mean, if you look at the larger firms, I think it's a different story, like Google and Microsoft. I'm not saying there are no opportunities. There are definitely opportunities because they are, you know, extremely credible companies. They just have a bit more professionalized streams to get in there. So if you come there without the right certificates, without the right degrees, it's tougher to get in. So if you can't follow the official stream, I think Ali's way is better. You work with an SME, few years, to probably help upgrade you. You can probably even do your study while you work there and take the next step. Thank you, guys. Are there any questions from here? From anyone? You didn't prepare one question for us? No. Thank you. Wait, I give you the mic. If you can stand up and say your name.
Can I just? Okay, I'm Hinar. Just now, as you mentioned, like you keep updating yourself and educating. So how do you go about your competitors? Like every company, they have other company who are their competitors. How do you keep updated about the others, your competitors?
How I keep ahead of my competitors?
Sorry, like how do you keep update about your competitors, or how do you keep an eye on your competitors? Like where are they going, where their way is?
Like business competitors. I actually I don't spend much time on that. That's his task. I keep up to date with programming languages and that kind of stuff, and trying to find guys like Ali to help join the company and make a good product. But competitors, that's more like Willem's thing.
So, well, it's the right answer because the tech team sets out the product. I mean, there's many roles in a tech company. That's why I think tech is for everybody. You might not want to code, but there's other roles, like you could become a product manager. A product manager typically owns the product and he reports to the client. So I am the product owner in this case of RiaPlay, and I'm always looking, what is the competitor doing? Are we still distinctively different? And in this case, the RiaPlay product we spoke about is our own. So, you know, it's not a client telling us to keep a lookout, but even when we get clients and they tell us to do a development, as a product owner, I'm looking at what is the competitor doing? Are we building the right thing for you? And they build in 3 weeks every way and things change. So you keep looking, you keep looking, you keep looking. So different roles, right? Different. I answered your question, I think. The different roles are important too, because you can be all the different functions that the normal company has. You can work in HR or legal, whatever. But even in tech, there are so many roles. You know, you need designers, you need people who are really interested in the customer journey. So they don't have really tech skills. They're more thinking of analyzing how does the customer go through the different journeys, which steps does he take. Sometimes they have designing skills so they can make it visual. You have people who are UX, UI, you know, or both, or distinctively different. There's just a lot you can do. Scrum masters, so they lead the development team and they make sure that every Scrum, the right decisions are made and that the problems arise, because often developers, you know, they just want to get to it. They just want to build and they love coding and they love cracking into there and solving these problems. And then, you know, 3 weeks later, they have taken a left turn and they're gone. You know, it's totally different than the rest of the project, of the product. And so a Scrum Master keeps it together by having these daily briefings. Karel was describing that every morning he has these daily meetings to bring back and realign the team. In bigger companies, that's a whole different role. You can become a master in running Scrums. Sorry, I got carried away. Any other questions?
Hello, my name is Sumaya, and my question is, what was the challenging experience you had when you first become a developer, and what should people who want to become a developer like you should prepare for it?
Could you say that one more time for us without your mask?
Okay. So, what was the challenging experience when you first become a developer, and what should the people who want to become a developer like you should prepare for it?
Oh yeah, the biggest challenge for me as a developer is, I guess there's a lot of problem solving. Like every single day when you start coding, you face a lot of bugs and you just need to find ways to, yeah, solve the bugs. I guess that's the main challenge.
Yeah, I would like to add to that. I think that a lot of tech companies are like that. They like having young people in. They need to learn a lot, but you need to come in on that pretenses. So if you're learning, you must have that role. Come in as a trainee, make sure you get a mentor, and that there's space to learn these things, because our teams are always analyzing, always helping each other and getting smarter and savvier. And if you don't find that, you're going to be totally lost in a big company.
Hi, my name is Bilkis. My question is, the technology is already very improved all around the world. Would it be a good idea to keep improving, or would it be a bad idea to a bad impact on the world?
Who are you asking?
Well, anyone.
What was it? How technology, if there's a good or bad impact?
Yeah, it's like good idea to keep improving, or it's going to be a bad impact on the world.
I don't know. I hope it will be good. But yeah, but it's kind of like I don't know, like really difficult to predict the future. Some people are really scared for artificial intelligence becomes too smart, way smarter than we are, and it takes over and does bad stuff to us. Maybe, yeah, that could be really bad. But yeah, you don't know. It's a bit like science fiction. So many possibilities.
Well, I think that your generation has to decide what it will be. Your generation has to decide that tech will help us and not the other way around. And I think we're all afraid of the same thing. We see these giant tech firms. They're taking our privacy. They're getting more control over where the elections go. What we're seeing, we're just being pushed into a certain line of thought. Very scary things. In the past, we were discussing. We saw that there were on 100 acres of land. There were 100 farmers. There's now one farmer running it with massive machines, and you kind of wonder at some point, where did these farmers go? Are they out of jobs now? But Elon Musk even said, probably in the future we need like a universal income because we won't have jobs for everybody. But at this stage, we don't really know, do we? Because it looks like everybody's still working and that new jobs have been created and people are doing new things.
How do we
Who are you asking?
how do we make sure that technology serves us instead of the
How
How
do you
do-
know that?
How do we make sure that technology serves us and not the other way around?
Are you talking about the Terminator movie?
Not really.
Well, we can't make sure. This is the problem, right? I mean, I don't think in the beginning, social media served us. And I think there's a lot of emotions and views now coming that it's not serving us in the right way. It's causing depressions. It's causing us to waste hours of time just flicking away and making each other feel unwanted through, you know, liking or unliking things from behind the screen without knowing what it does to people. So I think that there is absolutely no guarantee that tech will serve us. I think it's, like I said, a generation that has to step up, a generation of people who says this is enough, and everything we do from now has to has the right social impact. But no guarantees, I'm afraid.
Hello, good evening. My sorry. So my name is Misbah, and my question was that what are the possible like impacts of technology on students, and like not only students but the humankind? Like we see that it's growing every day more and more, and people are scared that it will destroy us one day. Like it will destroy the humanity, that AI, like the artificial intelligence. But my question is, the creator of it, if they can create it, how cannot they destroy it? They should know how to destroy it, right?
How do you answer that?
I guess let's do a petition together and send that to Elon Musk, right? Or let's find out if he has a delete button back at home.
I mean, we can just destroy it by throwing some water on it, though.
Yeah, you could do that with your own computer, and then I'm sure the problem's solved. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
Shall we do a last question, if there is any?
Could we
Well, do you know, actually, to have a more serious, one moment, a more serious answer to your question is like, I believe that if we do not get the influence of governments, it is not stoppable. Because these organizations are so large now and so monetized, and to ask a fully monetized company like Google or Metaverse to become just responsible and not to think about your stakeholders anymore, it's not going to happen. So I think that it is governments who have to step up and make a change there.
do you think we can live without technology?
Do you think we can live without technology? I know we can. I'm from a had no technology. Can you live without technology?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I can assure you that if all the technology in the world will be gone tomorrow, we will face some issues, right? Because everything runs on technology. But we can make it. We can make it. Why? Do you have plans we should know about? Do you have plans that we should know about to take out all the technology? Keep us in the loop. Okay? All right. This was really nice. I hope you did enjoy it. And I would like you to stand up and thank our two visitors with a final education for all. Are you ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Education for all. Thank you, everyone.